Hello, welcome to part three. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So, I just want to point out something that just occurred to me. If you watch part two, how Peter writing to people in Rome, more specifically the Jews in Rome, came to Christ. For I long to see you, so that I may impart some spiritual gift to you, so that you may be established. So this is an indication right there that Paul at the time wrote this, like I said in part two, did not believe that any apostle had been to Rome. But this also indicates, and this is what occurred to me recently, that he also believed that they're not going to go to Rome. So if you go back to part one, where I pointed out the timeline, where let's go to the timeline here. Let's see here. Where there was the expulsion of the Jews in Rome. It's during the time of Claudius. Okay, so expulsion of Jews right here. Alrighty. So this time of Claudius, and so after being told, this occurred after being told by Jesus, you will not make it through all the cities of Israel until the coming Son of Man comes. So if we go back to the timeline of the 70th week, now again, if you're told that you're not make it through all the cities of Israel, and you find out a city the Jews are expelled, you're not going to go. Okay, you're just not going to go. So if we go back here, Paul, he sat down with Peter. He said Galatians chapter 1. He went up to Jerusalem to become acquainted with Peter, Simon Peter, Cephas, Peter, and stayed with him 15 days. But I did not see any of the other apostles except James, the Lord's brother. Okay, so think about that for a second. If he stayed with him for 15 days, acquainted with him, how could Peter not share with him the mission that Jesus gave him in Matthew chapter 10, verse 23? There's no way that he would not share that with him. Let's just go to the different verses here. So, Matthew 10:23. Jesus told Peter and the rest of the disciples, the apostles, they're with him. But whenever they persecute you in one city, flee to the next. For to this city you will not finish going through the cities of Israel until the Son of Man comes. So the cities of Israel were Jews in every single nation. They were Jews in every single nation, Acts chapter 2, verse 5. So when they will not finish going through it but until the Son of Man comes. Now, the sign of Son of Man occurred on May 2nd of the year AD 66. So that would have meant this verse was finished. Okay? That would have meant the judgment coming was about to take place. Alrighty? And that's what happened. The Roman-Jewish War. You had lots of Jews getting slaughtered. Those who escaped, they endured the Daniel 12:12, the 1,235 days. And that very last day, that's when they fled. Jesus told them, pray your flight not take place in the winter and the Sabbath. That it was answered. And that very last day, it was on Thursday afternoon, April 10th. So it's not on the Sabbath, not in the winter. Okay. It's all in that timeline. If you, let's see here. If you, whoops, apologize here. There we go. So if you go to, you'll have access to these, by the way, in the description below, but you just click on the continuation, click here, and then this is the actual destruction temple right here. This is the 8070 right here. So as you follow the line, the green line, this is the stick of Judah. This is per Ezekiel 37. And this is the stick of Joseph. Okay? So they arrived first. They're the ones that prepared John chapter 14 for the stick of Judah. John chapter 14, Jesus is actually talking the stick of Judah. He was not talking the stick of Joseph. So these were the Jews. They're right in front of them. They were in Jerusalem. The stick of Joseph, on the other hand, they were the ones that were scattered throughout the Roman Empire. They were the Hellenistic Jews. They were the ones that adopted Greek culture. So they had to arrive first. And they would have received a letter from Peter. This is First Peter, where it said, you are scattered. Okay, that would hint to them suddenly it's time to go for the gathering that they've been waiting for. And they had to leave very quietly. But anyway, yeah, so that was during the period here. The coming of Son of Man occurred on May 2nd of AD 66. So we got January, okay, May. So it was right here. So just zoom in there. Let's see here. Right here. Okay. So War 2:1 or 2:14:4. So you book 2. You go to chapter 14. And then 4. Okay, 4. Okay. So this here. Okay. That's where they saw the sign of the Son of Man occur. Okay. Just wait a minute. 2:14:4. Right? 2:14:4. 14:4. Oh shoot, I got the wrong reference. Let me see here. Oh, 653. Sorry, 653. So let's go to 653. My bad. Go all the way back here. So 6 and 5. So when Jesus mentioned about the sign in the sky, Son of Man, this is what he was referring to. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely it right here. So if you read that, oh, this is where, like, wow, a lot of things were happening. You got the 2 witnesses here. This is right here. Woe to Jerusalem. That was actually a voice from the east, voice from the west, which is the spirit of Moses and the spirit of Elijah, the 2 witnesses. But it's in one physical body. Unfortunately, there's only one English translation that had it properly translated. But anyway, I'm starting to veer off course here. So anyway, he had to spend 15 days with them. And so go back to Matthew 10:23. That's what that was all about, okay? And so after that, that's when Peter wrote his epistle. So again, if they're told you're not finished going through Israel, you're not make it through all the city of Israel until the Son of Man comes, and you find out that there's a city where they fled, they were removed from, you're not going to go there. So the point being here, Paul, who sat down for 15 days, would have had a conversation about Matthew 10:23. There's no way that would not happen, because that was a big mission for Peter. Unfortunately, a lot of people are blinded to it because of the presuppositions in their Roman Catholic history. There's a lot of it just fabricated. And it just causes blindness to the reality, the biblical narrative. You're substituting it as a false narrative. But anyway, so when he understands their mission, and then he finds out later on, you know Paul's going to know, that expulsion of the Jews, he's going to hear about it. I mean, this guy goes around. He knows the Jewish people, all right? He's going to know that they're expelled. And he's going to know immediately that they're not going to go there, okay, that the original 12, which explains why, why that he longed to see them. Okay, now they would have been meeting at Pentecost, okay, in Jerusalem, and had been having a conversation with them, finding out some are going back, okay. And so, knowing full well that the original apostles aren't going to go there, it's not going to be established, okay? So, anyway, and that explains why in chapter 15, he talks about going to Spain, passing, going to Jerusalem, serving the saints from Macedonia, Achaia. This is... So he's continuing talking about the places. So it's surrounding verse 22. Okay, that's the key to understanding this. Okay, so if we look at this, see here, it's before and after. Let's see here. Yeah, so here we go, from 19. and so on. So basically, verse 22 is surrounded by this text. So in the power of signs and wonders, in the power of the Spirit, and so that from the Jerusalem and round about as far as Illyricum, I have fully preached the gospel of Christ. So he's talking about how the Lord having go to these places, but he's been wanting to go to Rome. And so that's what the issue is surrounding verse 22. That's the reason why he'd been prevented from coming to him, to them. Okay, it's not because Peter was already there. It's already established. That has nothing to do with it. That explains why he wanted to go back there, because they weren't there. Okay, it's the opposite of the Roman Catholic understanding. So anyway, yeah. So the point I'm trying to make here is that this suggests also that Paul knew that the rest of the apostles were not going to go to Rome. So again, all these fabrications about Peter being in Rome, it does not fit the biblical narrative, as you can see. It does not fit what Paul is saying here. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. So thank you very much for watching, and you have a great rest of the day.